Good morning and happy Read Aloud Wednesday. For today's Read Aloud, we are going to be reading the story, The True Story of the Three Little Pigs, and this is written by John Zeska and illustrated by Lane Smith. Now, before I get started reading this one, I just wanted to remind you guys that for our activity for today, we're actually going to be comparing two books. So if you didn't happen to listen and watch the link I left for the other story, The Three Little Pigs, I'm going to put it in the comment box below. And that way you guys can watch that one first and then watch this one, and then you can do the activity that follows. Okay. True story. This happens to me, one of my favorite versions of The Three Little Pigs as well. Everybody knows the story of the Three Little Pigs, or at least they think they do, but I'll let you on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody has ever heard my side. Looking off the cover page, who do you think is talking on this page? We can't see them. I think it's the big bad wolf. I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too. But, like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. This is the real story. Way back in once upon a time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold. I ran out of sugar. There he is. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now, this neighbor was a pig, and he wasn't too bright either. He built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in his right mind would build a house out of straw? So, of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. I didn't want to just walk into someone else's house, so I called, little pig, are you in? No answer. I was just about to go home without a cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. That's when my nose started to itch. I felt a sneeze coming on. Well, I huffed and I snuffed. What do you think happened? Do you think he sneezed? And I sneezed a great sneeze. Oh, not just any old sneeze, a great sneeze. And you know what? That whole darn straw house fell down, and right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig, dead as a doornail. He had been home the whole time. It seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw, so I ate it up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger just lying there. I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar. So I went to the next neighbor's house. The neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not much. He had built his house out of sticks. I rang the bell on the stick house. Nobody answered. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in? He yelled back, Go away, wolf. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs off my chinny chin. I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed, and I snuffed, and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great big sneeze. And you're not going to believe it, but this guy's house fell down just like his brother's. When the dust cleared, there was the second little pig, dead as a doornail, Wolf's honor. Now, you know food will spoil if you just leave it out in the open, so I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. Think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little better. And I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old Granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next house. This guy was the first and second little pig's brother. He must have been the brains of the family. He had built his house out of bricks. I knocked on the brick house. No answer. I called, Mr. Pig? Mr. Pig, are you in? And do you know what that little porker answered? Get out of here, Wolf. Don't bother me again. Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar, and he wouldn't give me even a little cup for my dear sweet old Granny's birthday cake. What a pig. I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when I felt my cold coming on. I huffed, and I snuffed, and I sneezed once again. Then the third little pig yelled, "And your old Granny can sit on a pen!" Well, that was a little rude, wasn't it? Now, I'm usually a perfectly calm fellow, but when somebody talks about my Granny like that, I go a little crazy. When the cops drove up, of course, I was trying to break down this pig's door, and the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. Oh my. The rest, as they say, is history. The news reporters found out about the 2 pigs I had for dinner. They figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting. So they jazzed up the story with all that huff and puff and blow your house down, and they made me the big bad wolf. That's it. The real story. I was framed. But maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar. The end. So what is your conclusion about that story? Do you think the big bad wolf was really telling the truth, or do you think that he did it on purpose? I think maybe he was telling the truth, but I like to see the bright side of things. So after this video, I'm going to be posting another one with our extension activity, and I hope you guys have a safe and happy Wednesday. Bye.